There we are.
Are we? I'm waiting
You're
for it
still
to pop
waiting
up.
for
There
it.
we are.
Yep.
There we are. I see us.
We have appeared.
We have appeared. We've crossed the threshold into the evening of live streaming.
Are you
How's it
about
going?
to be rowdy, Sandy? Are you about to be rowdy? Come here. Come say hi. Come say hi.
About to be rowdy.
I gotcha.
Rowdy.
Oh, I gotcha.
Rowdy danger.
I gotcha.
How's it going, everybody? So I was telling Try that I finished Yakuza 5 today, and it's very good. It's pretty long.
Yeah.
Pretty long.
Is that the one that a lot of people said
going?
Said was their least favorite, or was maybe I'm thinking of 3?
Well, 3 has been my least favorite so far.
Yeah.
5 is up there. I think it took it really takes a sweet time getting to the climax of the game. And there's 5 characters that you play as.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, which is
that's a lot.
Neat. It's neat to see how like they intersect and come together by the end.
Right.
But it's like after like you've been through like 3 characters, it's kind of like, oh geez, then we got to like start from level 1 and level these characters up again. You know, after about 3 of them, it's kind of like, oh, this is getting a little old now.
Yeah.
To the point where, you know, by like it gets to like the last character who is a new character, I was less enthused and kind of like skipped over a lot of the side stuff for him.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I think that I will say that, and this is going to be nonsense to you, but I will say that I think Akiyama is maybe the best character in the series. Who's the character that appears in 4.
Okay, well, maybe I'll find out who that is someday.
Someday you might, but I feel like he might be my favorite character.
Interesting.
Yeah, and he's also the most fun to play, I think.
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
The Haruka stuff wasn't that bad. I didn't feel like it was. It's like like a rhythm game.
Oh.
But you don't have to do a ton. You can get in like dance battles out on the streets and stuff like that. Wait, is Akiyama is the Japanese Garfield?
Japanese Garfield?
I don't know if how that works, but
you don't follow?
Not really, but I mean he's definitely pretty awesome.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I saw.
So next up for me is Zero, and I'm excited to play Zero. I'm happy that I am playing Zero at this point, and I'm not starting with it because I think it's going to be really fun to go back to see all these characters we haven't seen in a long time, or that are like not alive anymore.
Yeah. Well, I actually read a plot summary of Zero today because I played it, but it was a good number of years ago. And, you know, I am hoping to start Kiwami soon. I was thinking about streaming it tonight, but I ended up feeling like I wasn't ready. And then you were kind of maybe saying like, it might not really fit our stream style too well with all the cutscenes and stuff. So
yeah, I think that you might be.
I might enjoy it more on my own.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what else I was thinking about streaming tonight? Because well, here, I'll switch.
Not Ufouria, it's the Saga 2.
Yeah, before I settled on that. Well, I had a brief thought. I was like, man, this could be really bad. And I don't know, maybe one of us could do it sometime. I was like, this could be really bad for a stream, but like I'm also like just really curious like how it would go. But like this wizardry, the Digital Eclipse wizardry like remaster.
So you must have gotten. Looks like you got like a package from
I
Rondo.
I
see the
did.
pumpkin jack in there
I
too.
did get an order arrive, and you know, I booted up. It's pretty neat. I'm kind of afraid of it, but it's pretty neat. I mean, it's got like a ton of like things to kind of soften it a bit, you know, if you want, but you can turn all that off too. It's really interesting, I think. But then like that kind of got me thinking like, well, you know what I bet might potentially be like an even better like starting game in that kind of dungeon crawlery genre, because like I'm not sure if I've like really finished what would be considered like a true dungeon crawler before. I mean, it was like Phantasy Star 1, yeah, but I don't know if I would really count.
It's
because it's like got all the overworld stuff and stuff.
Like Shining in the Darkness is more of a dungeon crawler, where it's
well, that's what I was going to say. I was like, oh, you know, maybe I'll like try out Shine in the Darkness, and like if that seems like it'll be a good, like if I feel like I could get it and like do that, like maybe I'll just try streaming that. Like it might be a terrible idea, but maybe I'll try it. I was like so sure I had it, and I don't. I don't have it.
Really?
I should get it.
Yeah.
I thought I had Shiny in the Darkness. I do not.
Yeah.
I will endeavor to fix that at some point this year. Real quick
what's that game that's like after Shin Megami Tensei Vengeance?
Oh, that is Rain World.
Oh.
Looks interesting. I'm amazed that you were able to like see from the stream like what that tile was for Shin Megami Tensei.
I got it like full screen on here, so am I
even still like it's really small text.
Oh, I just saw like the
V.
Oh, someone said Shin Megami Tensei Vengeance spotted, so I just assumed
So you figured
saw that, and then I looked at the screen. It's like, oh yeah, there it is.
Real quick though, because
what did I watch the other day? I was watching, and this is like the kind of stupid crap that occupies my mind. Like I've said it so many times, like that I know more about video games than I know about like anything.
Mm-hmm.
So the last portion of Cobra Kai season 6 came out. So finally, like my wife and I are like starting the last season.
Oh wow, I didn't know there were that many seasons.
So they split it into 3 parts of like 5 episodes each. And I don't remember when the first part came out, but I didn't watch any of them. I wanted to wait till they were all out. Because I don't mind waiting week to week, but I don't want to watch 5, wait 2 months or 3 months, watch another 5, wait another 3 months, and then watch another 5. So there's like a scene in like the second episode where they're like at an arcade, and I'm like barely paying attention to like what the characters are saying, and I'm just like looking at the arcade marquees in the background like that are blurred and seeing which ones I can figure out what's what. It's just like one of those stupid things that I do. Is I just like just looking at the obscured arcade marquees, or you know, like sometimes you see like cartridges and systems or something like that in the background of something.
Oh, absolutely.
Make it out, and it's always fun to see like, oh, that's what it's supposed to be.
Absolutely.
So this game is pretty easy, and it's also not very long. I mean, the chances of you finishing it in this stream are probably not super high, but you'll get real close, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So that's interesting. So, you know, I see it. You can play it at 120 FPS.
Right, which was why I was filling in my settings ahead of time.
Well, what I think is funny about that is that, you know, I was playing it at 60, right? Because that's what I had available to me at the time.
Right.
And it has like a triangle button there, like you can change it. And I'm like, I'm hitting it. And I'm like, why can't I change it to anything else?
It shows it. Okay. So yeah, I'm just like.
So it was just like stuck on 60, but it's not like I could change it to anything else.
I mean, I feel like this game is like probably not moving fast enough to really. But man, it looks like I just turned on black frame insertion too.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, the motion clarity is pretty high, I have to say.
Yeah.
Can I interact with this toilet paper? I desire to interact with the toilet paper.
I don't think you can do anything with the toilet.
So, I have not beaten the original. I played like maybe an hour or so of it, like on a marathon stream once.
Yeah.
But I think I was like, I didn't know. Oh, can I swim? I can't.
Well, you'll be primed and ready to play the first one after you play this.
Because it's like, is it?
I don't think it's. It's probably. I think it's fine. And sorry for spoilers, but the game is a prequel to the first one.
Oh, you mentioned that to me before.
You find out at the very end that it's like a prequel to the first one. So you're ready to go.
Is like some of the world layout even the same?
No, you go to like a different planet in the. Like they go to a different planet.
Okay.
At the end.
I love the perler bead.
Yeah.
Text boxes.
Yeah. Like Instruction Industries in the.
Oh, hey. I visited Matt the other week. We had a grand old time.
Nice. I actually put in. I bought 2 SCART cables from them in the last week.
That's what I bet you're going to be getting an influx of cable sales because of like the SVS.
Right. Because we've been doing a video on the SVS, and Try's been like going crazy with these comparisons.
Yeah, I'm going way overboard because like I have made mistakes in the past where like a video switcher wasn't doing what I thought it did or hoped it would do, and ended up making like an unfair comparison because like, for example, there was a problem with the SCART switcher, but not the component switcher, right? And I didn't catch it before releasing the video. I didn't catch the issue and like made it look like one was better than the other when that really wasn't the case. So I'm like, I cannot integrate something into my setup unless I'm like completely confident in it, right? So it is a pain in the butt. I ain't gonna lie to you guys. Like this is like it's a great product. Don't get me wrong, but doing these tests is not fun because like you're moving all these cables. They're like integrated into your setup from one device to another, and it's not great fun, but I feel it is necessary to have the confidence we need to use it, right?
Yeah.
So
I mean, for me, like I've decided like it's definitely staying. I've worked it into it.
I'm definitely going
well, and I'm very happy with it.
I still haven't like totally figured out what my final integration is going to be.
Mm-hmm. I got it working with like the auto loading optimized profiles, which is nice. I wish there was a way to turn off the red power light. Like I wish that the red power light would go to sleep after a while, but it doesn't. But it's very cool. It's very cool, and we apologize. It's taken us like a long time to get it out. It's just like it took a little bit for us to kind of get into a place where we were like excited about it because as we talked about, like we've had this like the switcher aspect of our setups has been pretty set for several years now.
Yeah.
So
use your butt.
Yep.
Butt used.
There was also almost 15 minutes ago. I apologize that Kelly had a $2 donation through Super Chat saying paw tip for one of the best girls.
Yeah, Sandy didn't have a great Thursday because she had to go get a teeth cleaning. But ended up being very good. They provide you with pictures so you can see. And if you're in your way, use your butt. Heck yeah. Hebereke is all about that
Use
butt
them
usage.
booty cheeks. Well, that does not sound pleasant. I've been, speaking of teeth, I've been trying to find like a new dentist. My dentist stopped taking my insurance.
Oh, well, you told me, is this the dentist who was always like, gosh,
I don't know what we're going to do.
I don't know what we're going to do. I just don't know what we're going to do. Well, that was kind of why I started taking Sandy to a different vet, because like I always felt like the previous vet, like any like question or concern I had, it's just like, I don't know. What am I paying you for? Like, it could be this, it could be that,
well,
you know,
I mean,
just, well, what is it?
Yeah. I mean, if you have like any concerns or whatever, I mean, like ours is kind of like, you know, like now if we let her out back, like she like will always eat deer poop if she finds it.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
And then that gives her like, that screws up her stomach for like 2 days, and she's like squirting out her butt constantly. And then, you know, like then she's fine, but it's like, I always like joke about it because she's like, I don't want, you know, like whatever good stuff. If you're gonna give me food, it's got to be like different things like every other day, or else I get bored with it. I ain't eating it. And then, but then she's like sees deer poop and she's like, hell yes, I'm gonna get some of that. Every single time. Because we gotta like watch her out the back, you know. She'll run around and, you know, we can't stop deer from going through the lawn or anything like that, right?
Yeah.
And
I
it's
mean,
like
you know, there's a lot of deer poop at my parents' house, but when we go there, you know, she's always on a leash.
Yeah.
So
But we put her like, if she
I don't
needs
think
to go out
Sandy
and
would
go,
eat it though.
What?
I don't think she would eat it though.
Oh, you'd be real surprised. Hey, listen, it's so gross, but like I guarantee you that like most dogs probably eat poop. Either it's their own poop, or if they see other poop, they're gonna be like, you know. I always think about like the old like the Drake meme of like, where, you know, he's like going like this. No, she doesn't want like the good stuff that we're giving her. And then it's like a pile of deer poop, and she's like, yeah, like I want that. Seriously, like I think that it's just like a thing that a lot of dogs do, is they
I mean, Sandy knows
they
poop.
smell and they can tell like what diet, what like, you know, what a dog is, you know, like what their diet is, you know, what they've eaten. And you know, it's like, what other way if you can smell it, they can tell what they've been eating, but it's like you can't quite put their finger on it. They're like, well, maybe I should just try it. Maybe.
Well,
Taste
Sandy,
it and see if I can figure out what's in it.
oh, you use a butt bounce to calm her down.
Yeah. There was $5 from Robert Hernandez. Thank you. Saying, happy Sunday, everyone. I find that the only missing piece of the SBS is suitable strain relief, especially with these beefy HD Retrovision cables. So I don't know if it for the component, I agree, but it ain't that bad. But for SCART stuff, and this is a big deal, is you can get the
I like the Perler like speed lines there.
Oh yeah.
That's pretty
like
good.
the Kaitor SCART locks, and they work really well. And I was very happy to see that it's set up to like use these, because with my G SCART, I always had a problem with like the cables just kind of like slowly work themselves out, whether or not like anything is even happening. It feels like they just like work their way out. I mean, has that ever happened to you? Like they just kind of like come loose on their own?
No, not real. I mean, I had like I had an issue like that one time when I started making Super Nintendo Edge Enhancer comparisons last year, but I like just push down on, and you know, I push down on them every now and then just to be sure, but like generally I don't have a problem.
Well, it's not like it would completely cut out. I'd be like, oh, why are the whites kind of like yellowish?
Yeah, but those I did try today. You know, the Kaitor Industries SCART lock for the RetroTink 4K. I tried it on the SVS. And I'm like, oh, well, there you go. So I'm going to buy more of those for when I finally get the SVS like properly set up. But I'm actually surprised that you're having problems with the HD Retrovision cables. I mean, it might depend on how they're dangling from your setup, but I feel like they're generally pretty, the way I use them, like,
yeah,
I'm usually really confident in, like, I don't know. I don't see how there's a problem for that on the SCART end. I mean, if like your SCART switcher's up high and then like the bulk of the cable is like down low, I could see that. But maybe if you could just find some way to like use like a cable tie or something to like lift that up a little higher so that it's not like pulling on the thinner parts of the cable. I don't know.
Kami of Games says, because Coury says something I had to. Did I miss something? Something came up that I didn't. They are just heavy, but I mean it's okay. I'm gonna have to get like additional segments though, because the way I have it is was able to remove one of the G SCARTs from my setup because I had enough SCART inputs for what was active in one of those G SCARTs, and also have another port for me to be able to chain in my other G SCART. But you've been testing like if there's like anything really lost by chaining a like a G SCART or G comp into it.
Yeah.
And you said it's like maybe like a tiny little bit of brightness, but it's not even.
Oh, well, I mean, that's what happens if you were to chain it into another G SCART too. I mean, it's like almost unnoticeable. And if you're using the RetroTink 4K, it's got like the auto gain. So, you know, you calibrate it with that and it's the same anyway. So, there's really no issue daisy chaining a G SCART into it because, you know, it would be expensive to get enough SCART inputs. And also it would be too big. For where I can put it, it would be too big. So, in fact, I mean, we've got 10 inputs and 4 outputs, and as it is, I'm going to have to take at least 2 modules off of it.
Oh, really?
Well, in order for it to like fit, like in my Besta.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So I've not determined what the final, because like I'm using it in that cubbyhole right now, but. Like I had to remove like my Saturn and PS1 to like, so I could remove the shelf so I could like actually work on the switchers. Cause normally they're like covered up by the shelf that has the Saturn and PS1 on it. And like, as it is, I can't close like the door on the unit, on the unit.
Well, all this kind of goes back to Instruction Industries. Cause I ordered a PlayStation 1 cable and a Super NES cable. Because I was using the retro gaming cables Pack-a-Punch for those two, and I don't know if anybody else has this problem with those cables, but it the cable was like working its way out of the SCART head.
Yeah,
and there's like exposed wires on it. And
I don't know why that happened to me on some of those that I used a long time.
I'm gonna get these other cables that's not happening. So, I mean, that's just the way it worked out. So, I thought that I only had a Super Nintendo one, but I saw like, oh, I'm using one for my PS1 as well. So I'll like put another order for that. And they're available and ready to ship. So hopefully it reaches. Should be fine. Should be fine. I have to move some stuff around.
All these butt bounces make my behind itch.
What's that?
Hebireke said, all these butt bounces make my behind itch.
Ooh. Might want to get that checked out.
That's probably why he's got all that toilet paper up
Yeah. What else? We'll see. We'll see what I'm gonna play after. I'm very tempted to jump in immediately into Yakuza 0, but we will see. I don't know if I need to take a break and play something else. Might take a break and play Lufia 2. That's like I've been at the forefront of my mind lately. It just sounds fun. Is Yakuza 0 can't be longer than 5 though. I kind of feel like Yakuza 5 might be the longest out of the non-RPG ones.
I mean, it's still probably. I mean, one of the reasons it seems so long is because I streamed it. But I streamed most, maybe not all of it, but most of it, I would say.
Yeah. I mean, I assume that 5 was probably the longest because it just seems like there's so many, like, the story is just, like, overly complex in 5. And I feel like having all the different characters made it feel like you were starting over too often. But 0 only has 2 characters, so that doesn't seem so bad if you're just jumping back and forth. And yeah, I see 0 can feel long if you do all the side content, but from a main story perspective, it certainly feels shorter than 5. That's good. That's good. I mean, that's the thing with those games is like I never feel the urge to do like everything.
Yeah.
But I just do as much as I feel like, and then when I'm ready to finish it, then I just kind of like just only do the story missions. And I think then 6, I assume, only has 1 character. Only just has Kiryu.
Well, that's a pretty neat character swap.
Important skill to have. You mean just saying like when I'm done doing everything, like just go ahead and focus on finishing it?
Say what?
Oh, 6 is really short compared to 0 and 5.
Oh, wow.
But I'd play those 2, and then I just play like Man Who Erased His Name, and I can play Infinite Wealth. But I would save that for next year, probably. But I wonder how long Dead Souls is, because I could play that one. It's kind of like has some shooting aspects to it. I don't know. Like, I don't know if after this SCART thing if Try's planning on doing like anything like resuming his room tour video or not, or if you're gonna do something with like, you're thinking about doing something about like focusing on gaming with S video.
Hold on a second. There's more reading in this game than I expected for the stream. It probably gets less.
It's like a common problem with games. Like it's like unnecessary to have like so much dialogue.
Yeah. Anyway, what were you saying?
Jace Nacarado was asking any updates on your game room setup video.
Yeah. There's several things I want to do after the SVS video. I mean, that is also one of the things I want to do. But I feel like, well, for one, I need to get the SVS integrated in my setup. I'm going to send off a few things for some mods, and I'm kind of thinking about just waiting until I get those things back before doing the tour stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've already got, like, you know, there's the S video thing. Someone lent me a whole bunch of weird N64 accessories I was thinking about doing something on, or not thinking about. I'm going, yeah.
Oh, cool.
I want to do that. What was the other thing I had? Oh yeah, I have another thing that I want to, like, I got a Nintendo drawer. I know it's like not a huge subject, but I wanted to do like something kind of with that, and like kind of also like talk about like upscaling the high def NES kind of at the same time, like kind of just be like, you know, I made this system that I wasn't using a whole lot anymore. Like I kind of revived it and made it useful again with like these new things, right?
Mm-hmm.
So those were like three, you know, in my pursuit of making short videos, like little things, little things I want to do. Oh, okay, she can throw.
Eric 90K is asking if I'm still using a PVM on my desk, and I am, yeah. Actually, a 20-inch. I had a 20-inch like over there, like the white medical one, but I recently moved it back onto my desk where my 20L5 used to be. Just because, I don't know, like, Dre and I talk about this a lot, about how we like the look, the softer look of some of the like non-multi-format PVMs, like the lower line count ones. PVMs. And I was like, I'm just gonna put this over here. I probably use it more. Cool decision. And I kind of have. Jersey. I'm guessing Jersey 117 or JRZY has been a member for 32 months. Saying, any chance for a video series of definitive physical versions of games, compilations or complete versions? They have all the content on it / best version, and that's a fantastic idea. And actually, like, I have that on like a list of things that I would like to do. And I think that'd be like a really cool. That's a really good idea. Just like, because after this SVS thing is done, I feel like outside of like my like immediate obligations for like videos or like things I've committed to are like kind of in flux. And I feel like that might be kind of a cool video to do. So I will check up on that. I will move that to the top of the list. Joshua Eicher has been a member for 24 months. Saying happy Sunday. Yakuza 0 is excellent and was my starting point with the series. Works really well for a beginner game or for a game of for a game for longtime fans. And yeah, I mean, I'm hoping that I'll get a lot out of it at this point. I'm very excited to go back to the time before like a lot of characters have appeared. There's not so much baggage, and
Yeah.
also see a lot of these characters that were in the early games that are like now dead. So I'm looking forward to that and seeing if there's any references to events that happen. You know, and after 5, I feel like I want to look at it like a timeline, like a series timeline. If there exists, I'm sure there has to exist one. Because you find out a lot of stuff about Majima in 4 and 5, especially. Oh. But a lot of those events and things that happen are conveniently placed like in the very, very early 90s. So I was thinking, like, how do they figure out when they wanted to set Yakuza 0, which I think it takes place in like 1989 or something like that.
It's like the end of 88 and beginning of 89.
Okay.
So when Dragon Quest 3 comes
take place like during like Christmas and New Year's?
Yeah, I think that's right.
Because I don't know if you know this or not, but like every Yakuza game, I don't know if 3 does, but like definitely like 1, 2, and 5. I don't remember if 4 is, but like they both take place like around Christmas, or they all take like the 3 of those take place around Christmas. KCW, don't spoil anything because was waiting for the final part to come out, and I have not watched. I've only watched the first 5 episodes of season 6 so far. So don't ruin it. Yeah, I mean that's what I like is that it takes place like during, like right around Christmas. So 3 starts around Christmas, I believe, jumps forward after a spell. Okay, but 5 definitely takes place before Christmas because there's like Christmas trees and everything. I don't remember if 4 does or not. Well, there's a year and a half, or like a year and a half or almost 2 years between 4 and 5. They all take place in the year that they came out, which is kind of neat. And it's kind of neat, like seeing like the styles of each one. Like, you can kind of see like popular styles change.
I haven't figured out if there's any real difference between these. I mean, she can swim and Heavy Wrecking can't. So, like, he doesn't seem to have any abilities right now that she doesn't. Like, it seems like right now the cat is the better character.
Yeah, I don't remember. I think that... I don't remember.
Oops. I think I got hurt by my own weapon. They never gives up.
Drumata is like completely right, saying on that point, one of my favorite things in the series is watching Kamurocho evolve over the years. It's almost like a character in and of itself, and absolutely,
I guess
it is its own. It's just like interesting to see it like evolve, and that's why I'm excited to play Zero, because I'm excited to see what it looks like. I'm wondering if the volcanic volcano slot place is still there. Was there that early? Because volcanic volcano is my favorite. That's like the name.
Wait, what's the name?
The name of the casino.
Yeah.
In Kamurocho is called Volcanic Volcano.
That's enjoyable, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, just go in numerical order if you're playing 0 first. But the way I'm doing it is I played 7, and then I went back and started with Kiwami 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I'm gonna do 0 because I'm doing it like technically in release order, but replacing the PS2 versions with Kiwami. Although I did play the first one last year on PS2. Maybe I should play the second one on PS2 just to do it, you know? Jake, and that's kind of how I feel. Like, it feels like an endless series to get lost in, and there's like at least one new game that comes out every year. At least one.
I mean, there's a reason I have not gone beyond 0 so far, you know? Because, like... Yeah.
And then it just gets bigger and bigger, like the longer you wait.
Yeah, but it's just like, oh man, like, do I even want to go down this rabbit hole?
Yeah, well, that's kind of how I feel about Legend of Heroes. Like, Trails from Daybreak 2 came out, and of course, I still buy them. I'm thinking about like how these are like 80-hour RPGs, and I have at least 10 of them to play if I want to like try to catch up on it. My wife's trip to Paris was good. It was exhausting. She's kind of like feeling pretty much back to normal now in terms of like jet lag and stuff. It didn't really affect her that much because she slept on the plane on the way over. But she had a good time. Went to like a lot of different places, and had a good time. There's another $10 from Robert Hernandez. Thank you. Saying, you guys hear about the SVS VGA input module has a defect requiring a re-rev of the hardware. The issue currently affects Dreamcast VGA video.
Wait. SVS input module has a defect requiring a revision on hardware.
And another edge case for voltage goes wonky.
Well, so I was testing Dreamcast just before the stream. And I'm trying to understand what was going on because I actually got... So, like, I've just got, like, a crappy junk Dreamcast VGA cable.
Not even, like, a VGA box.
No,
VGA.
I don't even have... I mean, I have a Toro, but it's, like, broken. Like, I mostly play Dreamcast with the HDMI mod anyway. So, but anyway, I have, like, just a VGA cable for testing. And... like when I connected, I've been using the OSSC for a lot of the tests because I feel like it's, you know, I think it's easier to get like a look at just like the raw signal and the noise and the signal on the OSSC than it is on like the Retrode 4K, for instance. You know, you can like turn off the low pass filters and stuff and just like see like, you know, because we're looking at that like 1% of quality, right? So we're like looking, you know, as close to the signal as we can. And so I did like a direct connection to the OSSC with that cable, and I got a lot of like weird jittery edges. But then when I ran it through the SVS, it actually it actually looked super clean and solid. And I like rechecked my connection to the OSSC and everything, and it like everything seemed fine. So I actually asked Artemis, like if that made any sense to him, and he said, well, maybe. He didn't say anything about
like a re-rev of the hardware.
Yeah, I'll ask him about that tomorrow, so we can.
I'm feeding my super gun into the VGA input.
But is this just for the? This is the VGA input module,
right? Not the output.
So like, I mean, is the voltage like dangerous or anything?
A little bit dangerous. That is interesting.
Huh?
I said that is interesting.
I mean, come to think of it, I tested the the SVS before I tested the direct connection. Like, hopefully it's not like something's wrong with the voltage that like actually damaged the OSSC. I don't know. But it's just the VGA input module, not the output module, I guess.
Yeah, and I mean, think about, I guess, when the SCART came out. You know, like we were talking about how we have like different revisions of it, and you know, like it's a normal thing for there to be like new versions.
Oh yeah, there's like like I was like looking at the latest one, and it's like, it was like 5 point something. I've got 1.5. You know, it's like there's so many G
Really?
SCARTs. It looked like it's. I mean, I was looking at like a picture on like Castlemania, like up close. I thought it said like 5.4 or something like that. I could be wrong, but
really. I mean, I wonder if it uses USB-C power now, because the one I have is micro USB. I think there's a lot of people complaining about that because it's not a very sturdy cable input. But yeah, I mean, yeah. I think that it like took us a little bit of time to like kind of get going on it, because the idea of like totally disrupting our setups, like to do this thing that I don't know, that we don't really like need that much. Was less exciting for us at first.
yeah.
But
I'm excited to get integrated.
I was like, because I think I told you like last Wednesday, I'm like, I'm just gonna have to like bite the bullet and just like I'm just gonna do it.
Yeah. Well, you know, today I ended up unplugging everything from my G comp, which I really didn't want to do, but like I couldn't pull out. I was trying to get like the SCART cable that I use for daisy chain. I couldn't get it out because it's like kind of running like between some of the things that were on the, because I have like one G SCART, another G SCART, and then like in the middle is the G comp. And so the daisy chain cable was like kind of running through the G comp stuff. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I was like, ugh, I don't want to unplug everything from this, but I'm going to have to. Just how it is.
Yeah. Just how it is.
See,
Shadow Matt says my SVS replacement would be over $1,000. And you know, like I have one of the outputs, or I have two of the outputs feeding into an Extron, which like feeds all the CRTs. So it doesn't mean that I'm gonna like remove the Extrons from my setup, which I suppose like saves money in the long run. But yeah, I mean, for people that already have all that stuff in place and stuff like that, like it becomes less enticing, I guess, to get into it, or to you know, make these changes, or like add these things in to their setup, or remove things. To label all the connectors and know where each SCART plug is going to.
No, but I mean, there's labels on a lot of the systems, or a lot of them, you know, because they're like retro access cables, and they, you know, say like Genesis SCART or whatever.
What it is, yeah.
So,
and you need you need that information to know what system is feeding each input for the automatic.
True.
But it's not that bad. And then, you know, like I have a G SCART like going into like the final input, and that just like automatically loads a generic RGB profile whenever something feeds in from there. So it's fine. Yeah, the real perk is the RetroSync 4K auto switching and profile loading. Yeah, it's nice if you have that in your setup and you need it. And those Pez dispensers on the gate are like, there's a little suspect looking. Those statues, aren't they a little bit?
Huh? What?
Those statues on the side of the gate there, like a little suspect looking.
I don't know. They look like Pez dispensers, I would say.
Yeah, they definitely look like Pez dispensers. But... Red Panda. Yeah, I mean that's the thing is I think that the thing with the SVS is it's awesome and great, and if you're like if you have a reason to upgrade from what you already have, then it's worth it. But if what you have now is completely fine, don't upend the entire thing just to like figure out a way to work it in. It's probably not worth it in that case. And that goes for like a lot of this stuff, really, at this point.
Oh, she also doesn't slide on the ice. Like, she's better than Hebureke in like every single way. There's nothing that, currently at least, there's absolutely nothing that he can do that she can't. And she does a lot of things he can't.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. There's just like there's so much. Like most needs of if you're in the like, you know, playing old games at this point, a lot of the needs have been taken care of at this point.
Yeah.
And now there's like, you know, just better versions of things that exist. You might need to slide.
I can't duck. I have to buy something at the vending machine to be able to duck.
Can Hebureke duck?
No.
Oh.
I have to buy something at the vending machine to duck. I think I needed to jump off of the enemy, but I'd already killed it.
Isn't Jeff Chen like working on like a board for the G-SCART or G-Comp that like will allow it to connect to the Tank 4K and load optimal profiles also? It's like a board that plugs into that.
I saw some talk about that
it.
on Discord yesterday. I didn't fully understand though.
But I don't know if that's something that he's gonna make, or like he'll make it for himself. But I don't think he's gonna like. I don't know if he'll sell it, because he made that really cool replacement for the PS2 that will make it so that you don't have to like open up the whole system to take out the like a SSD or something like that.
Oh, that's cool.
It just like slides in the back. And that's something like other people have taken that and made it and are selling it, but he was not doing it himself. The donut dongle. I don't know what the donut dongle is. I know what the game Donut Dodo is, which is a very fun arcade game on that.
Oh yeah, I bought that.
Oh, did you get the physical too?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was
I
surprised.
haven't played it, but I did buy it.
I was like, oh, I got it.
I bought it because John was raving about it.
Oh yeah, I mean it's a cool little game. It's very similar to like a Donkey Kong type.
Right, that's what it looks like.
Yeah. Hub that connects your digital and analog consoles, switching separate with a okay. Oh, I haven't even seen anything like that yet. I'll check it out further like after the stream. Yeah, Donut Dodo is pretty cool. And it's like, it's just funny thinking about it like on a physical cartridge because it's like such a small game. It works with the Test Smart. Interesting.
I saw something about an open source.
Is it maybe it's a donut dongle? Might be the donut dongle.
I saw something about a like an open source HDMI matrix or something that I think you build from like ones that you can just buy on Amazon or something. Like, in fact, I have some of them, I think.
Really?
Yeah, like you buy the things on Amazon and like, I don't know, like there's something in the project that you can like use to like put them together.
More stuff to do than instead of playing games.
Yep.
Right? I'm still. I feel like the streaks on my GX are perhaps slightly lessened.
Oh yeah.
But it's still like it's very obvious in certain situations. But I might be getting used to it now, or like not thinking about it as much.
Right.
And now that I've kind of gotten used to the size, I'm almost like I like how it fits there, but the additional screen size, I'm like, it's. I don't know if it might be too big for like the distance that I sit from it.
Oh yeah.
I mean, yeah. I mean, sitting like 6 feet away from it, 6-7 feet away.
Yeah. I mean, I sit 8 feet away.
Like I feel like where I was, my 55. I feel like it was. I could see, but the whole thing could fit in my view.
Right. Like.
And this cannot.
Yeah. If I was 2 feet closer, like the whole thing is in my view, but you might have to like look around a little more.
Right.
But man, I mean, you would get used to it after a few days, I'm sure. But like, I'm sure if you went back to 55, at first it would feel a little disappointing.
Yeah.
It would be a lot easier to get a C5 though if it was 55, a lot cheaper.
Yeah. I mean, how big of a price difference is there? I wonder if the C5 even has a release date. Man, I'd have to wait till my wife is out of town.
I mean, when I got the 55-inch C2, and then
what's that?
Remember when I got the 55-inch C2, and I exchanged it for a 65-inch C1?
Yeah.
I think I paid like somewhere between $100 and $200 more to get the last year's 65-inch.
Okay.
So, but the current year gap is, it's a good several more $100 than that. Like it's probably $500 or $600 or maybe more. I don't know.
Yeah. See, Henry Clark's saying 8.1 feet is ideal for the 65. I mean, I don't know. Like, I almost feel as though like I might do 55. And then if we'll see how things happen. Things play out though. Like, I don't think I'm gonna get it. Like, wouldn't get it right away. I mean, I don't think I would. I don't even know what I would do with this one in that situation. I'd put it someplace else. I could put this one in the my wife and I's bedroom. It's just so gigantic. THX standard is 1.5 screen of the screen size. Yeah, I mean, I'm like between 6 and 7 feet away.
I mean, that doesn't sound. I mean, I would not mind being a foot or two closer And
I could have like before I could have the whole thing in my view, and this one I kind of like, got to look around a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
But I haven't.
And you really
had the
can't
view,
go
like,
any further
like looking
back.
at the upper left-hand corner for really anything, and but I've been playing on it. Love those sunglasses.
Yeah, he's pretty cool.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, I'm not gonna consider it right now. Like up in the back of my head, it's like I don't need to do that. It's $4.99 from Jersey 117. Thank you. And you guys know about Green Toe for buying TVs.
Green Toe?
Can't say that I do. Green Toe.
Yeah, sounds like.
Is it related to Green Dog?
Or Athlete's Foot.
Greentoe.com. Name your price and step into savings. Trending categories: home theater and television.
I bet you can't truly name your price. I'm sure they have something in mind.
I don't understand how it works, but it says Green Toe now. Amazon price for the C4 65 inch is $1,495, but with Green Toe you can get it for $1,295. How does it work?
I don't know.
It does sound like a fungal infection on your toe. Well, I'm gonna look up home theater and see if I can if they got for Denon. I don't see any Denon, so. Oh, here's receivers. Let's see what we got here. It's only Onkyo, Pioneer, Sony, and Technical Pro. Green Toe.
Is it just me, or do the coins look like a coin on one side and a cookie on the other?
Oh, it totally looks like a cookie. I've always thought that they kind of look like chocolate chip cookies.
They do.
And I thought that was intentional.
I don't know. You know, wait, did I see this over here? Yes.
What does it mean when it's just in the green? Like, what's the whole... How it works. You make an offer. We notify the authorized resellers. They ship directly to you. Oh, they accept the offer and then they ship it directly to you.
Weird. You know, it's annoying that it doesn't actually tell you how many hearts you have when you're on the vending machine screen.
You can enter a price and it'll tell you your chances of success. You have to be in the green. Green toe. Green.
Green Toe.
When I put in Green Toe into this thing, it says, oh, here's an update on my real-world Green Toe experience. Green Toe is legit, and I highly recommend them to anyone looking to make a purchase. Check the website. It's true you can name your own price. They got camera gear.
Oh yeah.
Let's see what they got here. Ooh, they got drones. There's a chance that my work might pay for me to get drone certification.
You don't need to be certified to fly a drone.
You do.
Do
'Cause
you?
gotta be like, yeah, you need like a.
Is that new?
I'm sure that it's just like a written test, but you have to be like certified to.
I mean, we had a drone back when I worked at the college, and you know, I flew it around. Never got certified. That was a good number of years ago, though.
It says if you want to perform commercial work, it's all about the intent. Part 107 cert, which I'm not sure what that means.
But anyway, I mean, have you flown a drone?
I mean, a little bit.
It's surprisingly. I mean, if it's like a good one, it's surprisingly easy.
Right, but if you accidentally nick something, like it's gonna be all over.
Well, you gotta be careful. I mean, I trimmed a few leaves off a tree once, and it was fine.
Like they do have lenses also, so they got.
I mean, I bet you could get used lens. Like
well, we can look at like there's some MFTs here. We got some like 55.
I'm pretty on the used lens bandwagon these days.
Yeah. You know, I told you like I ordered one of those lenses, the disposable camera lenses.
Oh yeah,
right?
yeah.
I think it'd be kind of fun to like shoot an entire episode using that.
I mean, so it has arrived.
It has not arrived. Actually, like after I ordered it, I asked at Boss Vox if he has tried one, because it seems like exactly like something like he would have tried.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, oh yeah, I have one. You need a lot of light, but it looks pretty neat.
Yeah.
And he's like, I keep it on my camera body instead of like a.
Instead of a body cap.
Yeah, instead of a body cap, because it's so small.
Right.
And flat.
That's a good idea.
That it's just kind of a cool like replacement where you can just like still use it.
Right.
In that case, he's like, it feels weird because it's so light that it just feels there's like zero heft to it. But I'm interested. I'm excited to try it out and see what it's like. I don't know how long it'll take to get here, but it looked kind of like an Oreo cookie. That one I sent you.
Yeah.
Didn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Called.
I mean, I'm unsure how much it's really going to achieve the effect by just being a lens. Like, there's more to it, so I don't.
I'm gonna post it in the chat. This is what I'm talking about.
I don't know how it's actually going to look, but I'll be curious to see once you get it. I mean, if it seems really cool, maybe I'll get one.
Yeah, I mean it's $40, but it would be fun to do an entire episode if it looks pretty decent. It'd be fun to like do an entire episode like that, and I could just like, instead of like using gameplay footage, I could like record it off the screen using it like directly off CRT.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see. I wonder when it'll arrive. I should look it up. Probably not tomorrow. We had like a crazy amount of rain. Like the weather here was super insane yesterday.
Oh.
Is that it like rained so much? There was like flooding. And then it was thundering and lightning last night. Like louder than any like storm I've ever heard.
Wow.
It was like the thunder would like last forever. It would just keep on going. And then it immediately turned to snow.
That's wild. I've never seen like a loud thunderstorm and then snow.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard like thunder snow and stuff like a lot before, where it's just like, you know, snowing, and then it's also you know, it just like thunders in when it's snowing. But this was slightly different. But it was pretty crazy. I was very surprised. I didn't understand what was going on. It sounded like bombs going off.
My mom texted me and asked if I had thunderstorms this morning, but if so, it didn't wake me up. Not it said that ring might help me find things and oh, he can jump over there.
It says it ships down enemy tracking.
So some of the motion, like I think the way some of the certain motions are like are scripted. It seems that they only move at 60 frames per second because I see a little like judder when like the minecart moves in certain ways.
Oh, weird.
Yeah.
Can you hear the music pretty well?
Yeah, it's good.
It's very good. It's funny because I feel like it's the most... It's like new compositions, but it sounds so close to like an 8-bit composition.
Yeah.
That I don't know if I'd ever heard anything that sounded like new 8-bit music, I guess.
I mean, I felt like Blaster Master blasting. I mean, obviously he's quite old at this point, but I thought blasting again like did a really good job of feeling of the you know, Sunsoft NES spirit. Like it's got a lot of new compositions that feel like they, you know, could have been originally from the original Blaster Master.
Yeah, and that come out like. It's funny to think about that Blasting Again probably came out 10 years after the original. Not even.
Oh my gosh! Well, I mean that's how I felt when I captured for the M Classic video. I captured some Sonic Adventure 2, and while like take the disc out, underneath it says Sonic 10th anniversary, and I'm like, don't tell me that. Like, how was
right?
Like, how was it only 10 years between Sonic 1 and Adventure 2? Like, how?
Right? Like, I mean, it's crazy to think about, like, how much was released and, like, how big of a jump it made in that small amount of time.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
And now it's been
25 years.
Almost like 1.5 times more.
Yeah.
That's weird. It's real weird.
I mean, 2.5 times more. Right?
Right. Well, I mean, it was, yeah, so another 15. So, like, yeah, 2.5.
No, another
1.5 times since that.
No, not another 15, another 25. I mean, it's been 25 years since 10 years, right? Because it was like 2000. I mean, it was like 2000.
Oh, yeah,
right?
it's right. It's been. Yes.
Now so it's been 25 years. Like, it's
been double, almost like, yeah.
It's even worse.
2.5 times more since then. Yeah, I was thinking like, oh, it's only been 15 years, like as if it was like only 2016, I guess. But yeah, oh, that's. Ugh. And when that amount of time passes again,
we're gonna be
I'm gonna be
like
like
legit
70.
old.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be in my 70s. Yeah, Sonic 2006 is almost 20 years old.
Yeah.
They gotta stop this stuff. I mean, it's just makes me feel like how futile everything is. Right? 'Cause it's just gonna be like,
Sonic 10th anniversary. The futility of everything.
yeah. And I had that gold coin that came with the soundtrack. I had like several of those things, and I gave them away or sold them, and I wish I'd held on to one of them. Like the 10th anniversary package that Electronics Boutique got. They had like a commemorative coin. Capcom released a Devil May Cry collection on its 5th anniversary. Oh, is that like the box set for its 5th anniversary? Jeez, let's. Here we go. Games that celebrate 25th anniversary. In 2025. Oh, here's the big 2025 video game anniversaries list.
Oh gosh.
Resident Evil 4 turns 20 this year.
Oh, I think
Sec 2 is 15 years old.
I had that DMC collection at some point. I don't think I have it now.
I have it. But yeah.
Yeah, so that's interesting. It's the only way to get the 3 special edition. But that's just really shows like what is just so different about game development now is like, 5th anniversary, and you've got a collection of the like the first 3 games for the 5th anniversary. Like,
Yeah.
now, like, we're 5 years into this generation, and like Naughty Dog can't make a game. Like,
Yeah.
what has even happened? They used to make like an original IP every generation and make 3 and a kart racer.
Yep.
They can't do it anymore.
25 this year. The PS2 turns 25. Isn't that crazy? Well, but if you look at like newer stuff, like how is Ori and the Blind Forest celebrating its 10th anniversary? Like the lower anniversaries are like even crazier to me. I guess. Like what are some other 10th anniversaries here? Like Mortal Kombat 10.
Really? Mortal Kombat
Celebrate.
10 is 10th anniversary? I started playing 11 on the Backloggery stream on Monday.
Oh yeah.
Hopefully finish it tomorrow. And then after I don't know if I'll start Aftermath tomorrow if I finish, or if I'll just save it for the next week. I don't know. We'll see.
Let's see here. I mean, I feel like the 10th. That Yoshi's Woolly World is 10 years old this year. And Fire Emblem Fates is apparently 10 years old. Like, it's the 10-year one that's, like, screwing me up the most.
Wait, which Fire Emblem?
Fates?
The one that you got that huge special edition of for some reason, even though You haven't even played a Fire Emblem game.
Well, because they used to like sell so quickly.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like it's.
Yeah.
Did you get? Do you have it? You have that big
I didn't
special
get.
edition?
I didn't get the special edition, but I got the one.
I should give you that.
It wasn't the big one that you have, but I've got the one that has like. I've got the one that has everything on the cartridge.
Oh, so that's the one that I don't even have that one. I just have the.
Oh.
It's like the remake of the second one. I don't have Fates because I ended up not getting it because I was annoyed that you could only get the one that had the two.
So Echoes is the one you have, though.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I should give you that big box then. It has like the art book and stuff. You probably get more out of it than I would. Because I don't know, like it's just there's too many big long series that I just like literally will die before I get a chance to.
Well, I mean, you don't
play. It's true though. I mean,
you don't need to play all the Fire Emblems.
Oh, I want more. Like, there hasn't been an entry in this game series in so long, or I don't know. It's just it's kind of nice when there's like big gaps in between them.
Oh
like,
yeah.
I would like it if there was more like 10-year gaps between sequels.
Sure. I mean, I often think back like several years ago when, people were first starting to notice like, hey, Capcom, like what they're not really making Mega Man games anymore. And like people were like they need to put something out like they can't let it die. I'm like, why not? Like I love Mega Man, but like at that time, in my opinion, like the recent Mega Man games hadn't really been that good anyway. So
yeah, just wait until you have like a good idea.
Yeah,
like,
and
I feel like we need, and is just getting like all right games, or like maybe not that. Would people rather just get like mediocre games in a series from people that like maybe don't want to make it that much, or wait longer to get something where they're like excited to make it?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't quite understand that logic. I'm with you. I'd rather get something
good. When did
good.
11 come out? Oh, so 11 came out in 2018. So 7 years ago. But there was 8 years between 10 and 11.
And that's fine.
Yeah. And between 8 and 9 is 12 years.
Oh. How did I start swimming down?
How does that relate to less AAA and more good games? I mean,
It's because I was holding this? No? How did I do that? Oops.
What'd you do?
Well, I sort of swam downwards a little bit. And there was like an item down there. Oh, there. Why do I sometimes I like, I don't understand why it's not when
Can you hold on the attack button or jump button and go down? There's $5 from Jonathan Hinson. Thank you. Saying, what differentiates Zelda likes from Metroidvanias? Is it more than top-down versus side-scrolling? If dungeons equals Zelda, one map equals Metroidvania?
Yeah, I'd say it's mostly the dungeons.
Like one big level?
I'd say it's mostly the puzzle dungeons and an action game. Because like you've got something like
but those lines are so blurred at this point.
Yes, I mean genres used to mean something. Genres don't mean anything anymore.
They all like there's a point where everything, if your character's leveled up, it was an RPG.
Yeah.
It's considered an RPG if you leveled up. And now, like, literally every game you level up in.
Yes.
Except for Ufouria the Saga 2. You don't level up.
Whoa. What did Heavy Recce do? It, like, exploded and killed the enemies.
Yeah. But I don't know. Like, I don't know if there's any way to differentiate them. It's I think it's just it's just best not to think about it. You know what the genre is now? Video game.
Yeah.
Like literally anything that you play on a TV or on any kind of screen is the genre. It's so blurred, it doesn't even matter.
Yeah. Yeah.
MLiG Chat, what is your biggest game collecting regret? I would say that mine is probably trading in a whole bunch of games into Video Games New York when I first had moved to New York. And I mean, I probably rebought most of the stuff over time that I traded in there. But I would love to go back and look at everything that I traded in. If I could go back in time and just like look in that box of everything I traded in, just to see what it was that I was getting rid of, because I don't even remember it. It did not seem worth it because they only gave me store credit.
Yeah.
At the time, which is so stupid. It's so stupid. At least the stuff that I sold to like fund my move to New York like made more sense than that, because at least there was a reason for it. You know, but like getting rid of stuff, just like trading it in the Video Game New York and being like, I'm getting rid of all my video games, but give me store credit so I can buy more video games eventually.
I mean, you know, the easy answer would be, you know, selling my NES and all my games for $20 to save up for the N64. But at the same time, I don't regret that, because it taught me the lesson of, you know, old games are still worth playing much earlier than I think most people got that lesson. Because like just a few layers, I'm like, oh my gosh, like, you know, I started getting Nintendo Power. I started getting online, and I learned about, you know, all these games that I never played for NES. I'm like, oh my gosh, I want to play these. And I you know, learned that, you know, NES games were cheap at Funkoland, and I'm like, I got to get back into this. And, you know, late 90s was a good time to get back into NES. So it was a mistake, but I wonder if I would have gotten as big back into the NES as I did if I hadn't gotten rid of it, you know?
Yeah.
Like I had to make an effort.
It would have always
back
just been there.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't seem like a big kind of, it wouldn't be like as big of a revelation, I guess.
Yeah, because you know, once I got my Super Nintendo, it just sat. You know, we had the box. Even we still had the box, and it sat in the box in the basement. Except one time, I pulled it back out because an old friend, from when I lived in Ohio, when he got rid of his NES stuff, he sent me his copy of Kiwi Craze.
Yeah,
and so I got it out to play that, but then I played it for a few minutes, and that was that. You know, I just wasn't really interested anymore at the time. Like I had like 13 games about. You know, I knew those games, and I had Super Mario All-Stars, so I already had the best ones available in some form on Super Nintendo. So I don't know. But then I learned about all these games that I didn't play and got interested in it again, and And anyway, so
here we are.
So here we are. Now I do a channel about retro games.
Engaging different USB power supplies, among other things. Yeah, it's interesting. I see like Jeff YPBBR PB. I used to be so good at saying it. I don't say it out loud enough. YPBPR. Say me and the guys back in the day used to hit up Funkoland and get NES games for literally $1. My one friend Chris hit over 300 games, and this was like 97 and 98. Yeah, and you know,
them was the days.
Like video games are like now like equivalent to like what I guess comic books were to like our parents, where it's like this collectible thing that they think like, oh, we can just get rid of it. And it's very interesting because, you know, my daughter yesterday like cleaned out her closet and is getting rid of a whole bunch of stuff and like selling it on Marketplace, but like all these like old toys that she doesn't, you know, like now that she's on the verge of being a teenager, she doesn't want any of this stuff anymore. She doesn't want her littlest pet shop like toy figures or anything like that anymore.
And did you tell her? Well, you never know.
Well, what's interesting is my wife is helping her sell them on Facebook Marketplace, right? And she put a bunch of them up for sale, and there's like tons of people like asking about it. And then she's like, I wonder if I like asked for too little for these, like if they're like real popular now, or if they're like hard to get now. You know, like it's not that big of a deal for her, but I'm just thinking about like what's going to be the next thing after video games. Is it going to be like, you know, Littlest Pet Shop or whatever it is, their LOL blind bag type things? Like I don't even know if that stuff even happens anymore. If that kind of stuff sells anymore.
I mean, I don't know if, I mean, there's not really a new medium after video games, you know, like comics were kind of a formative medium, right? But
yeah, well, I think it's almost impossible to know. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, so I mean, it would just be another kind of toy. I mean, probably a lot of these like high-end Legos, but really like the Legos are like sold to adults now.
Yeah.
Like they're not really being sold to kids because they're super expensive.
Yeah. See, physical music is becoming a big thing for younger generation.
Oh, yeah.
See, that's kind of interesting because I know that like cassette tapes have definitely come back, just like VHS has come back for video a bit. You know, I think there's, you know, in terms of that stuff, there's an appeal to it about having stuff that has like a texture to it that's not perfect. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, same thing with like, you know, playing composite video. It's similar. Or watching VHS tapes. Does Taylor Swift release all of her stuff like even on audio cassette too? Because I know the audio cassettes are sold like, you know, like more like independent labels do stuff like that. But I would be surprised if Taylor Swift stuff is being released on cassette. But at the same time, I don't see why not. You know, if she knows that there's a market there, why not? I mean, business savvy enough to do that.
I mean, there's things like, you know, there have been like collector's editions of games that came with like a cassette tape soundtrack, like Toe Jam and Earl.
Yeah.
I think there's been others, but I can't think of what.
I know that like Limited Run's doing a lot of the Ninja Turtle stuff on.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
On audio cassette.
I don't really pay attention unless it's CD though. Like
right. But I mean,
I'm all
I
about
assume
CD.
that, like, outside of like the, you know, like the tapes that you made yourself, I mean, you probably don't have as like a similar feel for like audio cassettes as you did like just.
Well, I mean, most of my parents' music was on audio cassette. Like it's interesting because I didn't.
Right, but it's not something you like really connected with.
No, not in a commercial sense, but I did enjoy the analog. I enjoyed the medium for what I was able to create myself, right?
Right.
But what I thought was kind of weird was I used to later I realized that like records were around for a lot longer than like a lot later than I initially thought. Like I thought that cassette tapes replaced records because like I mostly saw my parents listening to tapes,
and
not
I'm
records.
sure they did for a while. Like less and less vinyl was being made, and then audio cassettes became more and more popular.
But I think
'cause I remember going to like stores and not seeing any records and just seeing like audio cassettes. And I remember when that switched over to CDs, and now it's gone. Now I think
now CDs are what's gone.
Exactly.
But I prefer them.
Right. Tastes are common, but people who cared about audio quality still bought LPs. CDs killed the LPs. I mean, I just remember going to like, what is it? Camelot Music and not seeing any records in there. It was Camelot Music. Anybody remember Camelot Music? Before Camelot, there was a place in the before it was called Camelot, it was called The Wall. Does anybody remember The Wall? And in my mall, before The Wall was like National Record Mart. That's where I bought my Transformers the movie soundtrack on cassette. That's the only cassette that I had for the longest time, and I wore it out. See, Jeff YPBPR remembers The Wall. But I think The Wall became Camelot music. And then Camelot eventually became what is it? FYE. And FYE is still around to some extent. I went to one in the mall around here recently, and I mean it's like most stores and malls. I if you sold like anything that was like entertainment adjacent, I think now all those places just sell like Funko Pops. If it's like remotely, if it's sold like any kind of entertainment,
I feel like
video or music or games, it's all like mostly Funko Pops at this point.
Yeah, I feel like mall stores, like they really focus on like kind of getting like a all around general audience, right?
Yeah.
Like even like video game store, like Video Game World has some mall locations, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that's not where you're going.
There's open real estate for them.
Huh?
So there's like open real estate for them, so, and cheap real estate probably.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know if malls are cheap now or not. But there's Funko Pops and import snacks and import drinks and stuff like that, and big plushies and nerd jewelry and stuff like that. But, yes, they have the games, but like they don't send like the good stuff to the mall locations. Like you're not going to find your NES hidden gems at the mall locations, right? Although, I mean, you can. I mean, there's some surprisingly good stuff at those sometimes, actually.
Oh, I remember Media Play, of course. Media Play, like a lot of those places, like Media Play never put their stuff on sale. It's like, remember the places you go and they'd sell DVDs, but they'd never put them on sale. And they'd be like retail price, and it's like a movie would be like $30 or $40.
Yeah, I mean, I remember, when I wanted to get GoldenEye, it was hard to find, and the only place I could find was like a Suncoast Video, and stuff was always overpriced in places like that. It was the only place that had it.
Yeah. Henry Clark's talking about the 5 malls in Orlando, and I went to the Mall of Florida when went through before we could check in at Legoland, the Mall of Florida. And it was just enormous. But we'll see. I mean, I wonder, like, slowly but surely, like, physical movies are heading in that direction.
Oh, yeah. I wonder every once in a while, like, if there's any chance of, like, a physical movie format, like, after UHD Blu-ray. No, I mean, I feel like no, but, like, I wonder if, like, just for like the enthusiast market, like someone could come up with some kind of, proprietary cartridge format, It would probably be a little expensive, but it would be for, the hardcore enthusiasts.
Yeah, but I mean, thinking about, like 4K is close to like the film negatives of these movies. And it's just going to have to be like upscale to some extent. Like that's kind of the appeal, I think, of 4K movies. That they is like the same resolution as like the film.
Right, I'm not talking about like another format to be better than UHD disc, but just to exist. Like, yeah, I'm still talking 4K. I'm not talking about like particularly like new features.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like it's done, especially if they're disappearing from stores, like big box
but
stores.
I mean, someone could come up with a format and like sell direct to customer, but they would have to like get in with,
but
licensing.
Like I wonder,
and,
it's like I mean, thinking about how expensive authoring for 4K even is at this point. Like I wonder what the next medium would be and how that would be viable for like most people to like want to do that.
It's not,
like,
but that's not the point. It's not for most people.
Right, but I mean, how do they sell enough then to justify the price to make it?
They just have to have the right size. They have to have the right size of company to, be able to cover their costs. Like it can't be a massive company.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a.
I mean, like, I can see like
that's the thing. It's like I think that most of these like film studios, they want it to go away too because they just want.
Yeah, they want full control.
They want full control. And that's why I almost think that there won't be anything else because, like what was like how Sony's like not going to be making.
But at the same time, like they would probably, I mean, for one, it may not be financially worth it to the big studios, but at the same time, they might be like, well, okay, like not that many people are into this like newfangled movie format. Like it's not going to hurt us. It's not like it. you know, you've got streaming. I mean, they can't have full control of streaming either, because you can work around quite easily being able to record the stream.
Oh, 100%. But I mean, I don't think
like it's not like it hurts to
people...
put the file into people's hands.
Well, I mean, there's got to be a enormous pushback to like what's happening now, and I just don't know how. I don't know how inconvenient it needs to get before people like really push back in a way that like affects these studios. Most studios don't have successful streaming services, but I mean, that's why they'll like. I think that at some point they'll be like, we're just gonna like let somebody else shoulder this, and then they just pay us to like have these movies for this amount of time. I mean, there's just like a Netflix price increase. I think so I have an extra account for my mom, and that went up too. But I feel like Netflix right now is like over $40 a month for me.
Oh, I cannot believe how much Netflix gets away with the cost. Like, it's crazy to me, because like I don't see, like, Netflix has good stuff on it, but I don't see it as being like, I don't know. Like, I don't feel like Netflix is like exclusive offerings or anything, or like all that much better than the other services to justify being so much more expensive.
It's not.
So how is it that much? How is it so much more expensive? How do they get away with it?
I don't know. I mean, it's just like with Amazon Video, like that's not something I would not pay for Amazon Video by itself. It's just like included with the Prime shipping.
But there is a lot of good stuff on it
for that.
Like Amazon is probably like, Amazon Video is probably like that is where I look for something to watch first. But would I have gotten it without the, you know, if I didn't want Prime anyway? Like, probably not. But, you know, so, you know, like places like Amazon and probably like Apple TV and stuff, like they probably kind of subsidize their, they probably don't have to charge as much for the streaming, because like they do more than streaming. It's like people are subscribed to those services sometimes for other reasons other than just the movie offerings, right?
Right.
So, I guess what I'm trying to say is like Netflix offers nothing but movies, so they have to charge a lot of money for it, I guess. But like, I don't know. Amazon has their exclusive stuff. Apple has their exclusive stuff. Like it's not like Netflix is better.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I mean, I don't really watch like a ton on streaming as it is. I mean, my wife watches way more shows than I do. And she probably watches more on
I have a hard time believing you don't watch a lot of streaming.
I mean, I don't, unless it's like something that like I am invested in, you know, like it's not, I will put things on like in the background a lot of times.
Well,
but I'm not.
Then you're streaming like that, like I know we've both been getting into UHD discs, but I have a hard time believing
that I watch the most right now, and I've been watching the most for like probably the last 6 months, is Pluto TV.
Well, so you're streaming. That's my point.
Yeah, but that doesn't. Pluto TV doesn't cost anything.
Yeah, but it's still but still, like to say I don't stream anything. Like you do.
I certainly. I feel like I stream like a lot less than a lot of people do probably.
But like I feel like when you watch linear media, the number of times you're like actually the number of times you're actually putting in a disc is probably relatively low, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, that's my point then. I did watch the Who Framed Roger Rabbit UHD the other day though.
Oh, yeah, how does it look?
I thought it looked really good. I mean, I'm not, the biggest expert on those things, but I thought it looked really good.
I have not checked it out yet. But I do, like, I feel like I watch Pluto TV more than anything, and it's like the free one. I mean, I turned it on last night and I watched Wayne's World last night on it, which is just a great movie. But yeah, I mean, I pay for YouTube Premium as well. But I think that like my price is really low because I signed up for it. I feel like I got it back when Cobra Kai was on YouTube or on YouTube TV or YouTube Premium, sorry. And I've gotten like I'm grandfathered into that price. And I feel like YouTube Premium, like if I had to cancel all of my streaming services, I'll only keep one. I'd probably keep YouTube Premium. Because it's just like I don't know, it's just the most convenient. I can't even imagine going back to like having ads and stuff like in YouTube stuff. I can't even remember what it was like. And every time when I do see it, it's so intrusive. But I feel like it's totally worth it. Do you have YouTube Premium or no?
I didn't get it until maybe 2 years ago.
Uh-huh. And is it kind of hard to imagine like not having it now?
Well, I think you had a hard time like imagining that I was like suffering without it.
I did. I was like, holy cow.
Like you have a hard time you have a hard time imagining me suffering without fiber internet. You're like, oh, that's not gonna take that long to upload. No, it really will. It really will. Yeah. Yeah, it's a little hard to imagine going back because, for a long time I mostly watched stuff on my computer, but like, you can't really do ad blocking as easily on a phone or on, a streaming box on your, like on the TV in the dining room. And that's where it really helps, right? Because, I would have to watch ads on my phone and stuff like that.
Shadow Mask is so the ads in Crunchyroll are bad. My son has been like asking for Crunchyroll so much. I'm like, no. Even the paid tier has ads. He wants to get it, but I'm like, no, it's okay. You don't need to.
Everything you buy from the vending machine has to have a little story scene about it. Like I bought multiple things that they're like queued up, like talking about it.
Feels really unnecessary.
Yes, there's a lot more talk. I mean, it's cute. I get it, but it does kind of break things up a little too much.
Yeah. Shadow Mask is saying kids have got to learn about torrents or VPNs sometimes. It's so funny because what is the one? I don't know if I don't know where I saw. I don't know if it was like in our Discord or if it was someplace else. But I saw this really funny like meme image. I need to find it so that I can read it specifically to you, because it's like takes us the scene from Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade with what's his face there.
Oh, is it the one with Marcus?
Like, you know, the kids these days are like digital natives.
Right. Yeah, I saw that.
Watching like 3 screens at once, you know, and like we don't have to worry about like finding anybody who knows the stuff. Hopefully, with any luck, they're already like know more than we ever knew. And then it's like cuts to like what's his face, Marcus saying like, "Does anybody know what a C drive is?
Is it an app?"
Yes, exactly. I will see if I can post that for y'all.
I was amused by it as well.
Yes. I got a good laugh out of it too. Let's see if I can find it here.
It really is funny how the reality is so much different than what everyone assumed it would be. Like it was like young people going forward are just all going to be like super smart about computers. It's like that
really,
is,
you know, it doesn't. Oh, here we go.
That's not what happened.
It says Generation Alpha are digital natives. They've grown up already using every technology you ever had to adapt to. They know how to every smartphone, watch 3 screens at once, spend 10 hours a day online. With any luck, they've got the tech skills we need already.
Remember, everyone, this is the scene from Last Crusade where, you know, Indy and his dad are tied up, and they're like, he's like trying to say that, you know, Marcus is like definitely on their way to save them, and
yeah,
and then you know, Henry Jones Sr. is like really. And then he's like, no, he got lost in his own museum. Like he was just making it up to psych him out. There was Marcus actually saying, he's like, does anyone around here speak English or possibly ancient Sumerian or something like that?
Yeah. I mean, that's a lot of times that's like the criticism of that movie is they made him like too buffoonish.
Well, but I mean, Marcus was barely in the first movie.
I know.
Like I mean, you know, I don't know if this is like a spicy take, but I think Henry Jones Sr. is Sean Connery's best role. Like I think like he just feels so much like, I know like everyone would say like, you know, Sean Connery is like the iconic James Bond, but like I think he's better at being Indiana Jones's goofball Scottish dad than James Bond personally.
Yeah. Well, when was the last time you watched Highlander?
I've never seen it actually.
Okay. Well, it's on the Vudu. I watched some of Highlander the other day because it's like on Vudu, and I feel like the beginning of that movie where it has like the little text and then the Queen song kicks in. It is like it amps you up. Like the beginning of that movie, like just like the theme music, like amps you up like unlike almost any other movie I can think of. It's a very good song, and it sounds like it's like the most epic thing. But yeah, I mean, he is definitely the best part, and always it sounds like Christopher Lambert's voice is like dubbed all the time. I mean, he always looks like he's been dubbed, even in like Mortal Kombat. It looks like he's been dubbed.
I think Mortal Kombat's the only thing I've even seen him in.
Oh, he always looks like he's dubbed.
Maybe he's just bad at ADR.
Yeah, well, that's probably it.
Like that's honestly always amazed me that like ADR is like the standard for movie making, because it feels to me like that. It seems like, like a really particular skill that like it feels like there would be no guarantee that an actor would be good at ADR.
Yeah.
You know, like it feels like that would be, but like it's almost like a requirement to be able to do that. But like it feels like that would be like a really difficult skill that like maybe you're good at acting, but you suck at ADR, right?
Yeah, and you just kind of got to get yourself in that state of mind, I suppose, to to be able to deliver the lines in the same way.
Yeah, like I don't
That's
know.
true. Queen's Flash Gordon theme is pretty great too. But if you ever have a chance, you should just like watch like the beginning, like 5 minutes.
Well, I mean, if I'm going to watch it, I'm going to watch it.
Yeah. It's just like the song is really good. And they're supposed to be like remaking that. I don't know. Like I don't entirely hate the idea. Because I mean, the first one's really the only good one. I didn't mind the third one. I remember seeing the second one in the theater though. Do you ever hear like the story about the second Highlander movie?
Nope.
About how they like came out with like a whole director's cut on video like after a while, because like there's like some plot points that were like really terrible, and it just like totally like remade the entire movie by like removing certain things. It's like totally like changes the plot basically.
Wow.
It's called the Highlander 2 Renegade Edition. The second one, I saw it in the theater. I remember like really hating it.
Is Highlander based on something, or is it just movies?
They had a show.
Well, I mean,
the movie is first, yes.
Okay, so it's not like based on like a comic or anything.
Nope. Not as far as I know, no. Which is actually pretty impressive, I think, for such a cool concept.
Yeah, I mean, the concept sounds like something that would be a comic first.
Right, it does. But, I could be totally wrong. But as far as I know. Omicron says the Highlander is a real person, based on a real person. Oh, there was a Jaguar CD game. Forgot about that.
Well, now I know it's a big deal.
On the Jag. But it's good. Good. Like it's one of those times where like the music during the opening credits like gets you all like worked
That
up.
only took 2 hits. No, there's more.
Yeah, I mean the game's not hard. I feel like I saw you die recently, and that might be the first time you died.
I died once early on because I was confused.
I feel like they really got the spirit of this game right, though.
Yeah, the talkie talk is the only real problem.
Yeah.
I mean, it does feel in the spirit of like a late generation Famicom game, you know, that would be a bit on the easier side and stuff like that.
Right.
Other than the talk.
Yeah, I mean, talk is like a real problem in games. Like, why do they just gotta say so much? Like, it just be like, there he is, get him, and he flies away.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, I think for a lot of people, like, characters and characterization has like become so core to what they're into in games in the first place that like they feel like they have to have this stuff or else, you know, people aren't going to be interested. But I'd rather just have a 1 or 2 text boxes and then get back to the game, and for them to like really think about before, like, do we really need to break up the action at this point with this? Like, or should we just let them keep going? You know?
Yeah.
The graphics are just really cool though.
Yeah.
The way everything animates and looks so fuzzy and everything.
Yeah, it feels like you could touch it.
Yeah.
And the same way as Woolly World was like that too.
Yeah, but I like the like framey animation that the characters do too. Like somehow almost makes it feel even more real because it's like stop. It makes it look more like stop motion, so it like makes those textures look more like something that was photographed.
Right. Have you finished Fantasian yet?
Not yet. I've kind of like settled into like kind of like what you were saying about like Red Dead 2, like being kind of a slow burn. Like the second half of the game, like I've kind of settled into and accepting like the second part of the game is kind of like a slow burn thing of like I think go beat it at any time, but I think it would be extremely difficult without just like doing more of the stuff that's out there in the world. Like
they're just like exploring the world, and
like yesterday I discovered this area that I had avoided going to because I thought it was for a quest that was a higher level. And then it turned out like when I got there, it's like it's something completely different. I'm like 9 levels over for it. And I think I'm going to get like a optional character in it or something. Like there's a lot of stuff that keeps going on. But it's still really good. I still really love it. But like I've kind of like taken it more as a thing like, oh, like I'll like play for like 2 hours and do a couple of these side quests and just like slowly over time get powerful enough to take on the end of it. So I really can't say, like, it's really hard to guess like how much longer it'll take me.
Interesting. Does it feel like a mobile game though?
No.
Okay, so like I mean I
not at all.
Didn't even try. I just like looked at the title screen and it looked like the text was real big. Like it made me think of.
See, I like that though because that makes me think more of like I always like it when text is really big in games. Like it makes me think of how stuff was on in like GameCube and Wii games. I feel like I actually really like big text. Like it feels very Nintendo to me. Like big text feels Nintendo to me, and I like that. Yeah, like all of the UI elements are like the main menu. Like it is pretty chunky, but I like that because I don't know. It feels like stuff. It feels like it was designed for the size of like a standard def game, and I don't know. I always like big kind of Nintendo-y text like that personally. But no, I mean it feels like a PS1 game.
That's cool.
It feels in a lot of ways like I would almost say like it feels like an alternate concept for what Chrono Cross could have been.
Interesting.
Like
I mean,
it
I'd
all
say that
like
Mr. Bianca's saying I'm at the end of Fantasia now. Some of those bosses are rough. So is it like you're just barely squeaking by?
I did. I mean, I remember people saying that the original iOS version was uh, um, really tough, and they rebalanced it a little bit for the normal mode, but it's still like overall quite tough. I've been fighting some bosses like to unlock some of like your more powerful elemental abilities, and like you will die on them without like equipping defenses against like their element, and even then it's pretty tough. So like it's tough, but if like you adapt, if you die and then you adapt your strategy, you know, maybe re-equip a little bit, like you can make it. Like it doesn't feel unfairly difficult. It really does feel like I don't mean to overhype it by comparing it to Chrono Trigger, but like it reminds me a lot of it just in terms of structure.
Like the spirit is there.
Yeah, in the structure, you know, it feels like the structure, like, because, you know, I mean, the title of the game is Fantasia Neo Dimension, right? So like instead of like time stuff, they do like interdimensional stuff.
Yeah.
So
so even if you didn't grind and you just like fought every battle, like it's still going to be pretty tough.
Well, after I think it was like level 35. After level 35, you start gaining less experience for enemies that are under your level.
Oh, weird.
So they do kind of clamp down on your growth in that way. But it's just, I mean, but there's no need to grind because there's stuff to do. Like you've got like a quest list and stuff.
Right.
And like,
so could you get overpowered though? Because I mean, that's the thing I like.
Well,
to do, is I like to try to be overpowered by the end, because there's nothing more deflating to me than getting to like the last boss and being like, I can't beat this last boss over and over again.
I mean, you know, our friend Enchilada, because I was asking him, I said, hey, I know it's on my PS5 friends list. It said you have played Fantasia for 38 hours. Like, did you beat it? And he's like, oh, I'm stuck on the last boss. So I think he probably did that because I'm like over 40 hours now. Mm-hmm. And there's like a lot of stuff like still available for me to do. So he may have just gone ahead to the last boss like
instead of doing
way too early.
Yeah.
And I think I could go to the last boss now. Like roughly now, I think it would be because I went a little way down that road and I got to a boss that had like way more HP than I had ever seen. And so I'm like, okay, I'm not going to do any more of this. I'm going to do side stuff. And anyway, there's no need to grind. I mean, because like I just keep going. But like I am like overpowered for the area that I'm in now. Because like I said, like I thought, like I saw it on the map and I thought, oh, I think that's for this quest that's on my list that's like recommended level 49. And I'm like 47, 48 now. And but I was like trying to find some more of these places where I can level up my elemental attacks. And I wandered in there and I'm like, oh, this is like level 39. I'm like 8 to 9 levels overpowered for this area. Like, you know,
it's
so like
nice.
it is kind of nice. It is kind of nice. I mean, it's nice to have that balance of stuff where it's like, you know, like they're not like trying to level it with me. Like if I got overpowered for it, they just let me be overpowered for it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, that sounds nice, but at the same time, you know, like I guess if there's a lot of extra stuff to do, make you.
Well, it reminds me of Chrono Trigger.
I used to a dungeon only to be one-shotted by the boss after fully buffing. I mean, that sounds a little scary to me.
But it reminds me of Chrono Cross in the sense that, or Chrono Trigger, in the sense that you know, you could beat the game at many points, but there's a bunch of like worthwhile side quests that, like, you know, continue to expand the story and are, you know, lots of, you know, new places to go through and stuff like that. So, you know, some quests recycle old areas that you go back to, but some are going to all new places, which much like Chrono Trigger. So, you know, it reminds me of its structure in that sense.
Yeah. Well,
but I really like it. I just don't really know how much longer it will take. Because I mean, I'm not like, oh, I really just want to go beat the game and be done with it. Like, I want to do all these other things anyway, you know?
Yeah, yeah. Well, maybe I will. Maybe I will play. I'll play one of my pledge games next before I start Yakuza 0. But I don't know. It's gonna be real hard. Like, I really want to jump right on the Yakuza 0. So we'll see. Maybe I'll play one of the old ones. Are they filming that Police Squad movie with Liam Neeson? Is it already happening?
Liam Neeson's dead.
They were gonna do it, or the Naked Gun remake with Liam Neeson.
Liam Neeson's dead.
Leslie Nielsen.
Oh.
Is dead. Liam Neeson. You know, Qui-Gon Jinn.
Wait. So they're making a Police Squad movie with Liam Neeson instead of Leslie Nielsen? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
I can't imagine Police Squad being anything but Leslie Nielsen.
I know. But we'll see.
It's weird.
Their names are pretty similar, though.
I know. That's why I was like thrown off there.
It took a minute, but their names are very similar sounding. Like,
yes.
they like, one sounds like a reversal of the other.
Yes. So that's why my brain was not accepting this. It's still not accepting this. So you're saying this is a real thing? Liam Neeson
is, yes.
And
apparently
Squad.
It says done filming. I don't know. Like, part of me feels like it could be like very funny. Like, if he plays it, he could play it real straight. But I don't know if that's gonna be worthy of being the Naked Gun.
Like, I mean,
it's just like you could make it something and call it something different. You know.
Like, I feel like
I can't imagine. You know,
like, it's just. I don't know. The idea of it sounds too forced to me, because Leslie Nielsen became what he was in a very organic way, right? Like, you know, he wasn't that kind of comedy parody actor at all. And he just became that because of Airplane, right?
Yeah, I mean, because of like.
Because he did so good in Airplane, and then that became his whole thing, right?
Yeah, I mean.
So
yes,
like I feel like Liam Neeson hasn't had that moment where suddenly Liam Neeson is the, you know, playing it straight funny guy. Like, that's not him.
What was the thing where he kind of did? There was like a movie that he kind of did.
I mean, I I am not the I don't see all the latest and greatest movies, so.
I'm pretty sure there was a movie that he like did something very similar to that, where he was just like plays it completely straight and like an absurdist movie. I can't think of what it is. Or maybe he had like a small part in something. Maybe it was on a show. Was it like that show like was it called Extras? Do you have a pretty funny part in that? What is it, like the from the guy who made The Office? Ricky Gervais, did like that show, like is it like called like Extras or something like that? It's like he plays it really straight in that, and it's very funny. In the same way that like Patrick Stewart plays it like very funny. Plays like a role where he plays it completely straight. Have you ever seen that?
Seen what?
There's this like the guy who made the original Office show. He did this show called Extras about this guy who like is an actor, and he like starts out playing like extras on shows, and each one has like a cameo of some sort from like whatever film set he's like on, and it's like there's one with Patrick Stewart, and he's like, we're gonna this movie with Patrick Stewart, who can like make anything happen with his mind, and what he does is he just like makes women's clothes disappear.
Okay.
And she's like, he's talking about how he does that, and then she's like trying to cover up, and it's like, but it's too late. I've already seen everything. It's very funny, but I feel like there's like a Liam Neeson one of those as well.
I have a hard time imagining it. Like how can anyone
do what
be Frank Drebin other than Liam Neeson or Leslie Nielsen?
I hated the idea at first, but I feel like it's I could see it happening. You know,
like I can't think of anyone like
that would be able to do it in the same.
Like Leslie Nielsen was just completely unique. Yeah, one of a kind.
Yeah. Well, I feel like it'd be like Liam Neeson could, if he plays it completely straight, I think it would be like the potential is there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying the potential is not there. It's just hard to envision.
Yeah. Like, choose a different character. Like, I think it's the green guy. I love his crawl, where he just, like, sticks his butt up in the air.
Oh, well, he just scoots.
Oh, is that the one he sits down? Okay, then maybe it's the, okay, that's funny, but I feel like, isn't there another one? Is it the cat?
Oh, the ghost kind of wiggles his butt in the air.
Okay.
Oh, the cat goes upside down.
Okay.
Ebisumaru.
Yes, that's it, yeah.
Well, I actually like the animation for...
Like me getting out of bed every day. It's like laying on that's pulling myself towards the edge of the bed with just my legs.
I feel like the butt scooch was better in the Famicom game.
Yeah, I mean they had to like recreate it in a way that there's too much detail now.
Yes. Whoa! Look at that.
Oh yeah, it's just. Oh, okay. So I'm kind of recalling what happens here is that I forgot how to kill these guys, but they're always protecting like the piece that you're looking for. There's like 4 pieces of a rocket ship, I think.
So does that mean it's beyond here, or I need to kill them to get it?
don't remember. I don't remember how I beat them. But it kind of like you have to re-explore like old areas or something like that to find the parts of the rocket ship. Or you'll find other find hidden passages or whatever too. If you look at the map.
I don't think I can look at the map just any time. I think I have to check it at home.
It's definitely kind of gross that like there's like that drool thing like hanging out of that thing's butt too. And it's like slightly kind of like hairy.
I mean, everything's slightly hairy on this game.
Yeah.
I don't know how clear that is on the stream. Ooh, treasure map.
Hey, I gotta run to the bathroom. I will be right back. And I'm also gonna fill up my water, if that's right.
The secrets of the perfect butt bounce. Whoa. Ooh, a guillotine attack. Sounds violent. Might as well buy something. Talk. They have to talk about everything you purchased. This is certainly a very nice looking game, though. It's very pleasant. It just talks too much. Oh, look, the coin has like a... Oh, is it a button? Because I'm just noticing it has like a little protrusion from the side. Oh, did I clear the challenge? I wasn't even trying. I have not watched Batman Begins in a long time. Yeah, I feel like I've avoided going back to those movies because I'm like afraid that they'll like come across as being like too self-serious or something, but I really liked them at the time. I never liked the third one that much. Like that one really did not make much of an impression at all. But the first two I really liked. Oh. There's one of those, but I've also got access to new stuff in the caves. So I'm not sure. If I should I go into the cave first? I don't know. Maybe I will. I'll try this first. Untamed caves. You know, this might end up being the first game I've ever played in 120 frames per second from start to finish, which probably sounds sad.
The what?
I said this might end up being the first game I've ever played like from start to finish in 120 frames per second. Like I played God of War Ragnarok with like the uncapped frame rate mode. But like, you know, it wasn't actually 120 frames per second. I mean, this game is generally hitting its frame rate target. I mean, I think it always is, but I think there's some weird motion interpolation on certain things, like riding the minecart like down slopes or something. So I keep finding these armored dudes. I think I'm going to take the ice cave. Oh yeah, that rope is coming out of that thing's butt. I never thought about it. Then you're like kind of pooped out by it, I guess.
Pretty gross.
Pretty gross. All right, I've been here. I don't think I need to go back up there.
Yeah, I remember getting kind of stuck here. I didn't really know exactly where to go.
But I thought you said it was still like 3 hours for you, right? So it's weird. I feel like the areas just like change sometimes. Like
I think so.
It's a little strange. Like certain structures that I feel I remembered being in the levels are like just like not there sometimes. Like I feel like I've never been through an instance of the grass field that looked like that. Like it was different somehow. Why? I don't know. Okay, I'm going to go down here.
I think you can do something with the... So, you'll notice that there's those little platforms. Oh, here we go.
Right. So I got into 2 of those areas. But they just have those like armored dudes. Okay, so only the cat has good traction on the ice.
Somehow the ghost does not.
Yeah. Somehow. I do not know how. The whole thing where you like, oh, if you hit triangle in time, you'll get like a coin or something. It's a little bit of a weird mechanic.
It's just super unnecessary, right?
Yeah, but I mean, it doesn't. I guess it doesn't take away anything. All you do is like get a little coin or something. So it's something, I guess. But it's like, I guess it's to give you the idea that even though they aren't on screen, your other pals are like helping you somehow.
Right. That they're there for you.
Yeah, they're not wandering around though. Like, do you remember like playing Final Fantasy 13 for the first time and like, were you amazed that like the other party members were just like kind of running around of their own volition out there? Like they weren't like, you know, they weren't just not there at all, and they also weren't like following like exactly where you go, like Final Fantasy VIII. They
right.
were like they're just like going where they want to go.
Yeah, I didn't really consider that at all. I didn't even think.
I was super impressed by that at the time.
And in fact, I never considered the fact that even happens until you just said it.
That like the very like as soon as you get like into that crystal lake, like right after you get like your Lassie powers.
What is the name of that place?
And it's a lake. It's something lake.
Well, it has like some weird name, and it's like I just started thinking about like how
I'd know it if I heard it.
How like the names of these places always like felt so weird to me because it just like they have these defined names for things or defined that only makes sense in the context of that world. And I just imagine people sitting around thinking like, what should we call this? Like people designing the game. Let's call it this like with this weird name, and this weird name can mean this.
Look up what that lake is called. It's like it's Lake something. I'd recognize it.
I'm thinking more about the forest or something like that.
Oh. I mean, I remember Final Fantasy X has Macalania Woods. That's not 13. I'm trying to blank on the name of both.
Yeah, it's like this. I just imagine the developers like thinking of like what should we call this thing, this area, or like this like what is it?
I mean, you'd probably be very amused by all of the weird names of places in Final Fantasy 14.
Yeah,
like it. Like some of the places is like very, very crazy names.
I'm trying to find it here. Not the Gapra Whitewood.
Oh yeah.
It's not that. It's the Sunleth Waterscape might be.
Sunleth Waterscape, yes. Well, you know what's one of my favorite things about Final Fantasy 11 is that like they never repeat like a geological formation.
So why would they have like a name for it or something like
that?
Well,
no. Like, I mean, when I'm in the name, I mean, so like there's an area in Final Fantasy 11 called Tarangi Canyon, and there is nowhere else in Final Fantasy 11
called the Tarangi anything.
No, the canyon anything.
Oh, okay.
So like, you've got Jugner Forest. Well, nowhere else is in the game is a forest, so it's like, but you've got like the Sanctuary of Zeta is like where you've got like these giant like redwood style trees. It can't be a forest because you've got Jugner Forest. You've got
wait, Jugner
Forest, Battalia Downs, Pashow marshlands. You can't have any other marshlands in the game. Like the one that's the funniest to me though is there's a place called Saramouge Champagne. It's like what the heck is a champagne?
Is it like a party town or something like that?
No, it's like
a champagne is something. It's not like a drink. It's like
right. Like I've looked it up before. You know, what else is there?
Like, when are they gonna like
Lufay's Meadows? There's no other meadows in the game. Man, this kind of makes me want to just like load up Final Fantasy 14 right now and like show you the names of some of the weird places in it.
I mean,
would anyone mind if we did that?
Like stupid,
huh?
Like you ever see these names and be like, what were they even thinking?
Well, I mean, like,
or it's just more like, oh, that's fine. Like you get to a point where you just accept it. But it's also like I just think about the team sitting around being like, what do we call this?
I know. Well, and like especially in like the newest expansion. Here, you know what? I am going to load.
Throwing it into a word generator, you think?
I'm going to load up Final Fantasy 14. I don't know. I'm having a fun time talking about the names of locations in Final Fantasy games because they can be kind of silly, can't they?
Yeah, but I mean, like they got to have like some sort of like name generator or something where they just like run it through a few times, like, oh, that sounds good.
Yeah, I don't know.
Or just like mixes like parts of words together.
Yeah, I'm putting it on the dual screen while I enter my security token.
Oh, you?
Not that it should matter in theory, but huh? What were you saying?
You have to put in your security token every time?
Well, it's just two-factor authentication. The Xbox version actually doesn't make you do it, I think, because like your security is tied to your Xbox account somehow. I mean, it's just
your XB joint.
It's just 6 numbers.
The sun left.
I never figured out a way on the PC version to even save your password though. I don't think you can save your password on the PC version, which is real annoying. I only have to enter the authenticator code on PlayStation. do you remember that that little gag I did in that Xbox video where I was showing like how they had like the aggressive chat filter on the Xbox version that was like, oh, you did the voice for it, remember?
Yeah.
You did the voice, and then I made a character called Xbox, like spelled the funny way. And then I made a character on the Xbox, and then I made a character called Other Versions, which was like other character you're talking to.
What's your main character? Is it?
Huh?
Oh, other versions. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. So when I've played Final Fantasy 11 recently, what I've been doing is leveling minor. Like I've never leveled like a gathering class up high before. I was like, I want to level something that can make me some money because I never have money.
How long does it? I didn't realize the queues would still be a thing.
Oh, yeah, there's almost always. It's really brief though. Like even if it says it's a lot, like it usually just takes like at most a minute. Anyway, so right now, if you want to know where we're in, this is Ralger's Reach. Ralger's Reach. Too bad it's almost nighttime. Not the best time to go sightseeing. But like anyone who has not beaten Dawn Trail, if you don't know Dawn Trail spoilers, you might want to, or if you care, you might. I won't go anywhere too spoilery, or at least it'll be out of context. But you might not want to look at the list of Dawn Trail places. But like here this one. Kozamalka. Like when I first saw the word, I'm like, how do you say that? And then, the characters start saying it out loud. It took me a long time to like, you know, I'm in the village of Okanu. You know, they love using apostrophes in this game.
Okay.
Oh, look, dude, it's the corn servant. It's the corn servant.
Okay, what does that mean? It is okay. I
like,
get it, but
it's like a little. I actually let me change to an actual job. Yeah, I can accept his quest. I don't know, like I don't think other people can see him, but I can see the corn servant. I can see the corn servant.
Chris S is asking if there's a corn servitor.
Not to my knowledge. By the way, like this area here has like the coolest parallax occlusion maps I've ever seen. Like, you know, like the cameo style bump stuff. Mm-hmm. Like this wood, I think looks so good. Like just like the perspective you get as you like go around this wood. I think it looks real good. Anyway, Kozamalka. Another one is Urkopacha. Let's teleport to the. We can teleport
like
to the village.
Words. They gotta have a generator.
Of Wakanpello or Warler's Echo.
I mean, the apostrophe is like light, like take away from it a little bit. I think the goofiness of it a little bit. Because it feels like, okay, if we can make these names sound as ridiculous as we want to, as long as we put an apostrophe in it.
Beautiful Rose, that player there. Yeah, there's but this like this is like on like a completely different
light cycle. Wait, did she just like have a light cycle that turned into like a hover bike?
Oh, there's like so. Something that I think is fairly unique about me is I am a stickler for generally only using the black chocobo, because like they made it
when you can gas up with greens, right? And
gas them up with the greens, and let them go. Yeah, I mean the thing though is that black chocobos, you know, they're the canonical like flying mount, right? For Final Fantasy, you know?
So you only like to do things that like are cool, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it's just I want to, like, I'm playing Final Fantasy. I want to ride a chocobo, and I want to ride a chocobo that is supposed to be able to fly, right?
Yeah.
So, but most people.
You think you can ride this chocobo? I mean, obviously.
Most people do like the crazy mounts and stuff. I mean, let me.
I mean, I saw like that light cycle.
I don't have, I mean, those are extraordinarily expensive. Although I don't know, there might be another way to get them. I don't have a ton of mounts because, I mean, I don't go out of my way for them because I don't usually use them. Like here's here's Torgal. But the thing is, it used to, like when they first introduced fly mounts in the first expansion, like only certain mounts could fly, but then they eventually made it so that any mount can fly. So like, you know, she just flies Torgal, you know. What's funny is
like
they
runs in the air, so that's kind of cool. I like that it's like running in the air.
But then now that I'm going at a certain speed, he's like gliding.
Yeah.
But like, what's funny is they've started like dropping
it's
like
kind of like Falcor a little bit.
They've started dropping like vague like lore reasons for why any mount can fly, because they're like, oh, there's like some theory of like spontaneous levitation that any living being is like actually capable of, but it just happens very rarely or something like that. So that's like how they explain it away. Here, you'll appreciate.
Can you only fly a certain amount? I mean, is it?
Oh no, you can.
How much you can fly?
You can.
Can you fly across the entire world if you wanted to?
You can fly in any normal zone. You can't, not in towns. And most towns don't let you ride chocobos.
But can you fly across from one side of the world to the next without, like, seamlessly?
Well, the game is divided into zones. Like it's divided into zones. So you can't technically really, but you can fly in most areas. But look, I've got Magitech armor.
Yeah, and it's like the Amano.
It's the Amano. But what's really cool is like this game like has a mixture of like Amano style and like Sprite style.
Right.
But like you get up and it's like legs go into formation. You can just like fly around on it.
Can it fly?
Yeah, every mount can fly, no matter how ridiculous it is. Every mount can fly.
I wish it had like thruster jets or something on it. Just flying around like that, it kind of looks.
You can those like air, like those like small like personal like helicopters that like when you're on the airship and like the Empire comes after you. Like I don't think I have it, but I've seen those around. Here, what are some others I have? Oops, those are minions. Let's see, any entertaining ones. Oh, there's Mr. Chupon. This is probably the most ridiculous one I have. A giant glowing cactuar. And when you take off, it like sprouts like Moogle balloons or something.
Oh, that's fun.
Does the Armin carry you? How does that work? Oh no, you just ride it.
Oh,
I don't.
Chocobo.
Huh?
The fat chocobo.
Oh yeah. The fat
Look at
chocobo.
that fat chocobo.
Fat chocobo is pretty good. You have like greens on a stick in front of him.
Oh, look, that's great. The fat chocobo kind of looks like
it becomes a cake when you fly.
From Phantasy Star. Or from Phantasy Star Online.
It becomes a cake when you fly. I don't know if I do that.
I like that its like eyes are squinty, too.
But like another new area. And again, I will not provide the context for this area, but like the name of the place is called Heritage Found. And like
Found?
I have still to this day like not parsed.
Found it?
I have not been able to parse like what do they mean by this? Heritage, like why is that the name of a place?
Is it always raining here?
No, but it is always got lightning. Like what are some other oddball names? Rads at Han or Rads at Han. It's like kind of like
Labyrinthos.
Labyrinthos.
That's kind of a cool name.
Yeah, Rads at Han is like it's like kind of like India / like Southeast.
Is there a new expansion
Asia
every year
inspired?
in this?
Huh?
Is there a new expansion every year?
No, it's probably like every 2.5 years, but like every like I don't know 4 or 5 months. There's like they release a piece of the storyline that occurs during the interim between expansions. And, you know, eventually we'll kind of hint at like what the next expansion will be. I mean,
how many hours does your dashboard say you have in this?
Oh, I mean, and keep in mind, it's only the PS5 version I think it tracks, but 39 hours.
Dang. You know, I don't think I've ever put more than, like, I think that the most time I ever put into a game is like 400 hours with like Phantasy Star Online. I don't think I've ever gone over 500 hours in anything else ever.
We got the Raktika Greatwood.
The Greatwood.
The Raktika Greatwood, the Azim Steppe. Yangsha. Azus Law. Oh, I love the music there. Here, I should go there because
the chumming mists.
The churning mists. Churning mists.
What?
The churning mists. Like, I really like this place because, like, it's got this, like, giant airship in the middle that's, like, super Amano looking. Like, look at this thing.
Oh,
Just got, like,
cool.
all of these, like, unnecessary things, like, going off on every angle. There's also at the top, some statues at the top of it that I don't think they're specifically the statues from Final Fantasy VI, but they are like very much inspired by it. Although there is an optional Kefka fight that I think has something to do with. I think you access it from this area. Maybe I'm forgetting.
Can you do it by yourself?
But I mean, but yeah, like look at this. It's like that might actually be from Final Fantasy VI.
Oh yeah, is that like Kefka's? Like
it's like the top portion. I think you access the Kefka fights from this area. I forget.
Well, they all different characters? I mean,
there's 3 statues. They might be the actual statues from 6. I forget though.
When was the last time I guess 6, you played through it on that stream?
On that
years
marathon,
ago,
yeah.
Last time.
I'd love to play it again though.
Been considering to, like, you know, maybe trying to play like through an entire pixel remaster.
Oh, I don't know. I don't think I could do it.
You should do it with 3.
Okay, you're right. Although I would probably like it would be one of the few times where I'd say like I'd probably want to play the PC version because you can mod it.
Yeah, I mean you can get. I think you can get it for like $12 or something like that, and you probably can mod it.
Yeah. Are there? So like part of the setup for Final Fantasy 14's world is that there's like 13, like a long time ago, like the world was like split into like
it was destroyed twice.
It was destroyed 13 times. No, it was like the world was split into like 13 reflections, and you're like on the 14th. It's like the source of everything. But there's like things in the
1.0, what, like the 13th reflection or something?
No, it's weird. Like sometimes like so the entire expansion of Shadowbringers takes place in the first reflection, which has a lot of Final Fantasy 1 references. Like it's not explicitly the Final Fantasy 1 world. Like it is very different. It's its own thing, has its own cities and everything. But there's like a lot of FF1 callbacks in it, and some 3 stuff as well. But then
thinking about playing is that thinking about playing the whatchamacallit, Final Fantasy Origin.
Oh yeah, I do want to play
Stranger
that.
in Paradise.
But like, look, there's like some dungeons that have like, you know, the Tower of Zot, the Tower of Babel, Fell Court of Troya, And the lunar subterranean. So you might think this is cool. I'm going into this dungeon in explorer mode, which means the monsters won't be here.
Okay.
But like, so this is the last thing before you actually.
Oh, cool.
The last thing, like in the interim storyline between Shadow Endwalker
is that
and
the music from 4?
Yeah. Yes.
Or is it like the
like the
Red
final
Wings
boss
theme
is
played
Zeromus. Or
right, but the Red Wings theme plays like during this part.
Right. So
which is one of the best Final Fantasy themes ever.
Right. No, it's a different theme they remix here actually, but then they actually get it's more actually the Kingdom of Baron music, and you'll see why because
which is also a very good one.
Huh?
I don't know. I think the 4 might have the best soundtrack in the series.
Yeah, it's actually more of a remix of the Kingdom of Baron, and here I'll show you momentarily why, because in the lunar subterranean they you actually go through, because so the 13th reflection was basically the world of Final Fantasy IV, and it's semi-destroyed. Like it's not. Some of the reflections are just straight up gone. The bad guys kind of screwed up with what they were trying to do with. So this is like kind of a dream, but like I'm in Baron now. So I thought you might think this is cool. Like here's like. There it is.
Yeah.
Like it's all on fire and stuff, but it's, this is like their interpretation of what the Kingdom of Baron is.
You know what I miss the most about like old style Final Fantasy games is like when characters would jump and they do that spin in the air.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Like seeing this because I feel like Sid always would do that in.
Oh yeah, constantly.
4. That's what it made me think about.
Constantly. But yeah, like so. But I believe this pronunciation from what I've asked people, and it sounds like this does go back to the DS remake. But like they don't say Zeromus. They say Zeromus.
It feels like
it's not as bad as Cecil, but it's weird.
Oh, I mean Cecil's pretty bad, but I mean that's like, just like Tidus is bad.
Oh, Tidus is terrible. Yeah.
But
You started
Cecil
a voice
is
chat?
like way worse than.
It says Coury started a voice chat. Did you see that?
Yeah, because they happen. Because you have it linked to your Discord.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, they happened when you and Henry Clark were doing it. We were like doing the stream the other night, or a couple weeks ago. Not the other night, a couple weeks ago. It was like popping up on, because I was playing on my PlayStation Portal.
Right.
And it kept on popping up that you guys were in it, that you started a voice chat.
So the reason this looks empty is because this is a dungeon.
Yeah.
This is a dungeon, but I'm in explorer mode, so for one, they're really wide areas because you're going to be running through it with other people and find mobs and mobs and monsters. There's not going to be NPCs here, stuff like that. Like this is a dungeon, but I'm in explorer mode. It just lets me look at it. So it's neat.
Mm-hmm. It's really cool, I think.
But yeah, it's weird though because the world of Final Fantasy IV is the 13th reflection for some reason.
Why not the 4th reflection?
I don't know. Like I'm not sure. We don't know anything about the 4th reflection to my knowledge, and it might be gone. I think it is known, like, and the real lore junkies like know what worlds are gone and stuff like that. But like for some reason 4 is the 13th. Oh man, it's foggy here. Like where you see all those spotlights, I was going to it's foggy so you can't see. I was going to show how that's it's a real Amano looking vista over that away, but not right now, I suppose. The Azim Steppe is one of my favorite places. It's kind of like a savanna, but it's got this like awesome like floating castle. Dang it, it's foggy here too. It's got this like awesome like kind of like stone structures in the middle of it with this like kind of like almost
in the sea of blades.
Yeah, almost. The what?
The Sea of Blades.
Oh, oh yeah, Sea of Blades. Like there's like all like there's a ton of like on the maps. There's like Ragil's Reckoning, The Wound, The Path of the Craven.
Yeah.
The Towering Still, Namba's Retreat, The Dusk Throne. You know, like this stuff is just love. I mean, that's what we were talking about in the first place, right? Like,
yeah,
this stuff is just it's littered everywhere.
It's just from a name generator. It's like we just put this in there, or like every cool name that they think of, they just put it into like a document.
Yeah.
So whenever they can.
But I mean, I think though they have like a pretty extensive. They have a pretty extensive like lore backing, and you know these are the rules for names from this culture and stuff like that. Hey, look, there's a player character named Bunavelza. Remember Bunavelza, right?
Where do I know that name from?
That's like the god of the world of Final Fantasy 13. Oh, here's Mr. Chupon. This is the gold saucer, by the way.
Oh, okay.
There's like a little mini game happening in the middle of here right now. And you have to like not get blown away by Mr. Chupon. Or Typhoon as he is now known.
Yeah. Typhon or something like that, right?
Yeah. Anyway, that's probably enough of me indulging in showing you all the world of Final Fantasy 14. But you know what really annoys me? Every time I go to Ul'dah, which is my hometown, they always say it. They always pronounce it Ul'dah. Every time you come here, you teleport to the Aetheryte. Every freaking time you come up these steps. Oh, wait. Oh, my gosh. Are they not here? Oh, no.
Avocado toast. What's the heck? What's that supposed to mean? That I'm back? I'm going to make everyone go to sleep early? What's that supposed to mean?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I was going to say, every time you come up here, there's like people wearing like these like giant elephant masks, and it's really creepy looking. But they aren't here, so.
Yeah, I mean, this just looks like so overwhelming. I can't even.
You know, I'm not gonna lie, it is, and it blows my mind that like they're still able to get like new players and like onboard them, because there's so much going on, so much I don't know anything about.
Yeah,
like honestly, like I think the dungeon combat is very overwhelming. Like I do not understand how most people like are totally functional with it. It is really shocking to me because it's very visually overwhelming. Just all the stuff that's going on, all the mechanic, because every boss like has like a gimmick, which is cool. Like they're very intricately designed, but I think very difficult to like just like parse what is going on. But people,
Being in this, you would just accept that like this is going to be the only game that you're going to play.
This is the only game. Well, this is the only game of this style I play.
Yeah.
But like, I'm bad at it. I'm really bad at it, honestly. Like, like I like it for the aesthetics, the story, the music, the setting. I love all that stuff about it. The gameplay is okay to me, but it's overwhelming. I'm surprised that people can take to it. You know, it's these people that the Indiana Jones was talking about, and that meme where they're just like all wired to just like understand all this stuff, except they don't understand it on like a hardware level or basic user level, but they can understand like a game like this. Whereas me, I'm a little too old to understand it all in detail, but you only have to take it as seriously as you want to. You can play the story without like ever really engaging in like the game economy or anything like that. You know, you can mostly play it as a single player game if you want to. But anyway, that should do it for tonight, I would say.
I would say so too.
So
thanks to everybody who donated and everybody who stuck around for the Final Fantasy XIV World Tour.
I just couldn't resist after we were talking about all the ridiculous names of these places.
Yeah.
Anyway, I will continue Ufouria soon on my own time, and
yeah, I mean you could probably finish it like in a couple hours for sure.
Yeah. So thanks everyone for hanging out, and we will keep plugging away on that SVS video.
Yep. Sounds good. All right. Take care, everybody. See you next week.